welcome to the hard sell, where the stick in the swill-bucket rattles back. And just to get it out of the way, yes, I've regenerated. This is a new character model. Not for any special reason or anything, I just lost the old one. My hard drive decided, for no adequately explained reason, that it didn't want to start up anymore. So I had to save what I could and reinstall the OS, which was a pain in the arse, especially as this was while I was making the franchise affair. All of Part 2 and some of Part 3 of that were made on temporary operating systems, streaming from a memory stick while I desperately tried to get everything backed up. Anyway, I couldn't save my original Movie Storm installation with the puppet I've been using for the past 10 years, so please welcome the new model created from memory. This one actually looks a bit more like me. Its head is more square. Also, I wear glasses semi-permanently now, so enjoy that. So anyway, never mind that bollocks, here's a...
Have a break.
This episode was a request from Sam in the background. And if you want to make a request of your own, visit bobthefish.org.uk to contact me directly, or watch everything I've ever made. Or better yet, sign up to the Patreon at patreon.com/applemask. Sam's choice is a break from a showing on Channel 4 of Jackie Chan's Police Story in 1995. Not sure precisely when, but it must be around the second week of September, and I'll explain how I know that when I come to it, if that's all right with you. So let's get started.
Only Q can make this world seem right.
Well, this doesn't hit the same in this day and age. Don't let any of the swivel-eyed idiots see this, or they'll make it their theme song. I mean, only Q can make the world seem right. It's the perfect slogan for the mad bastards. And much more coherent than where we go one, we go all.
Only Q can make the darkness bright.
Oh, Jesus Christ, fuck this fucking timeline so much.
Network Q give their cars 114 separate checks, so if you want to use car, there's only one place to go.
Anyway, this is, of course, the famous Vauxhall used car network, where they kindly make sure you can buy a used Vauxhall with confidence, as long as it's flying the Network Q flag. I assume the Q actually stands for quality. It's still going today, in effect, if not in name, as part of the Spotty Car thing, that covers all the marques owned by the sprawling Stellantis empire that came about when Peugeot merged with Fiat Chrysler. Choice is increasingly an illusion. This is the reason this break was requested. Apparently it's our requester's favourite advert, or possibly campaign, because there were quite a lot of these. All with the same psychedelic kaleidoscope motif and elliptical New Age sloganeering. Unfortunately for Minute Maid, which is to say the Coca-Cola company, it was one of those situations where the advert was ultimately more popular than the product. The for mind, body and planet thing didn't really come across, even when they gave up and started showing it properly all at once at the end. I think even when people could see it all laid out, they were still confused about the planet part, possibly meaning soul, because that's the more familiar version of that phrase. But apparently it was just planet. So Fruitopia didn't sell, and disappeared from British shelves fairly quickly. It lasted longer in America, and actually still persists in some territories, at least the name does. There's no arguing with the soundtrack though, the suitably ethereal 4AD likes of Cocteau Twins and even Kate Bush. Apparently the Cocteau's piece, heard here, is something of an offcut that never made it onto an album or anything. It does sound like they may have been commissioned for a Clearasil advert which fell through, and they gave it to Fruitopia instead when they came knocking. Why do I say that? because I'm being a flippant idiot, and I trust my viewership to be low enough for that load of bollocks that I just said not to spread and become an internet urban myth, please. This was kind of a Ponzi period for painkiller advertising, as I'm sure you can tell. Maybe it was just Nurofen. In the 90s they did seem to go in for the artsy approach. Remember this one? Bespoke Pink Floyd and Giuseppe Archimboldo inspired visuals. Or in a more modern art sort of vein, this campaign. Yes, that's period pain represented as a massive mechanical fist beating the shit out of your lady area, which I'm going to go ahead and assume is quite accurate. This one's for Nurofen Plus and takes a sort of rotoscoped Henri Matisse, Paul Gauguin, Fauvist pastiche type thing machine, soundtracked by someone pissing about on a harmonica.
For powerful pain relief, there's an advanced dual action formula that helps you get to pain before pain gets to you.
Okay, let's talk about the product for a second. Nurofen Plus means Nurofen, i.e. ibuprofen, plus codeine. Now that's a powerful pain relief, alright. So powerful you can't actually buy it off the shelf. Codeine is an opiate, you see. You know, like morphine. Take it regularly for more than 3 days and you run the risk of developing a chemical dependence. In the 30 years since this advert, yes, I'm afraid so, in the 30 years since this advert, it's become mandatory to put "can cause addiction for 3 days use only" in giant letters on the boxes and advertising. Even here in 1995 you got the extra disclaimer, "only available at your pharmacist," i.e. you have to ask for it, you can't just buy some off the shelf, because it won't be there.
For powerful pain relief, there's an advanced dual action formula that helps you get to pain before pain gets to you. Nurofen
Plus
codeine
equals
dual action.
relief.
If the idea of investing gives you chronic indigestion, don't worry. Be happy.
Sound investment plans from AXA Equity and Law.
Fun fact, AXA isn't an acronym. In fact, it doesn't mean anything at all. It's just a noise, which the owners of the newly merged French assurance conglomerate in the mid-80s decided to apply to their new company because it could be pronounced anywhere in the world. AXA. And so they commenced taking over as many international insurance and assurance and general financial tomfoolery companies as they could manage, including in this country the Equity and Law Assurance Company. Hence it becoming known as AXA, Equity and Law. Need we say more? That was their initial slogan.
AXA Equity and Law. Need we say more?
And while it is catchy, it's also kind of weak on its face, because frankly, yes, they did need to say more. Or did they?
If the idea of investing gives you chronic indigestion, don't worry.
This more successful and also more irritating campaign from the mid-90s says even less than the Need We Say More ones did. But it uses arresting visuals and a famous song, which they basically taken out, eviscerated and recycled its organs, probably under the understanding that Bobby McFerrin is sicker of it than anyone else, and therefore is unlikely to object.
Part of AXA, Europe's largest insurance group.
Hey, Annie.
Hi.
Love the hat.
Oh, I need it. My hair's a disaster. Look at my dandruff.
What you need is Head and Shoulders. It's the business look.
Yes, Head and Shoulders. They've ditched the over-defensive "I didn't know you had dandruff" bollocks, but the message remains more or less the same. A handful of particles of scalp flake will make you a complete social pariah who genuinely deserves to die. So what's with this stuff, for God's sake?
In tests, it shifts dandruff so much faster that even after another chance, the other one still hasn't caught up with Head and Shoulders.
See? No dandruff.
And it looks great.
They've also ditched the long-necked, gourd-shaped bottles, which is a shame, because those were distinctive. Didn't fit as well on the shelves, I suppose.
Thanks.
Don't forget your hat.
Who needs it?
Fastest.
You know what? I like that hat. Maybe if there'd been a fashion for female fedoras in the 90s, it would have put off all those dickless shitlords on the Ortiz internet from ruining what used to be the coolest hat in the world.
Fastest ever Head and Shoulders. Forget dandruff. Have beautiful hair.
Kathy Bates.
One of us is going to the boneyard.
Jennifer Jason Lee.
What happened in that house?
Dolores Claiborne.
This is how I know this must be the second week or so of September. Dolores Claiborne came out in the UK on September the 8th, 1995, and it's apparently out now. And they probably wouldn't bother doing TV spots in its third week. Maybe they would for the latest action blockbuster, which would probably have been some kind of disaster film at that time, but this, despite the Stephen King connection, is actually a dark thriller drama. And a good one. Go watch it. It's set in Maine, surprisingly.
Call 0891 30 30 30. Go on, get in on the action. Call now. 0891 30 30 30.
Ah, must be quite late at night. It's one of those premium rate phone lines where you leave messages for other lonely people, inevitably desperately inviting them to come over to your house for some extremely depressing fumbling. Not a live service, despite the fact that they're trying to make it seem like an exciting ongoing conference call conversation. Nope, answer phone booty calls, that's your lot. Long call possible, and by possible I mean more or less inevitable. Also, 50p a minute. I tend to call these things voluntary loneliness taxes. They're terribly depressing, but also basically obsolete in these days of the internet, where much larger scale degradation is easier and cheaper. Yay.
Colgate Total helps provide all-round protection and goes on working throughout the day.
Teeth. Colgate just invented some kind of toothpaste formula that's always doing something in there, because there are chemicals in it that don't wash away or something. I have no idea how it's supposed to work. The adverts don't go into detail, they just use a constant brushing sounds metaphor, and that's the impression you get. Here's a gormless businessman demonstrating how great it is in a vague presentation to some standard, confused Japanese people.
Colgate Total.
The longer version's a bit more problematic. Jesus Christ, they're not even tourists, you bakagaijin. Anyway, Colgate Total. Pretty much standard toothpaste these days, but it seemed impressive at the time.
Colgate Total. Brushing that works between brushings.
That couple saved a massive 15% on their summer holiday at Lunn Poly. Get away!
Yes, it's not really peak holiday booking time, but there might still be time to grab a cheap week's getaway for half-term, or even Christmas. So here's Lunn Poly with the usual shtick. 7 years into this campaign, the phrase "getaway" doesn't even register as either a holiday-related term or an exclamation of surprise anymore, and indeed has more or less lost all meaning, except as a way of making people and things disappear as shorthand for Lunn Poly, which is fine by them. Still, it's not good to let your famous advertising slogan go flat in this way. They'd already supplemented these bite-sized spots with a new Lenny Henry-fronted campaign, which was actually kind of confusing, or it would have been if anyone cared. Finally, some soap.
Imagine a material that was beautiful, sensitive, and would last a lifetime. You're already wearing it.
Imperial Leather always struck me as an odd name for a soap brand. It's soap, it's not made of leather. What are you doing, cousins? What are you doing? Well, apparently it's because it was originally perfumed with the classic aroma of birch-tanned Russian leather from the days of their empire. So there you are. Not that Russia was very popular in the 30s when Mr. Cussons invented it, hence Imperial, which obviously would have just sounded British at that time. Anyway, all this illustrates that this is a high-end soap, at least within the mass consumer bracket, and it's being advertised as such here, with these elegantly edited montages of silks and creams and black and white models.
That's why we've developed new Imperial Leather Extra Care. With 1/4 moisturizers, it's extra creamy, kind and gentle.
Which is particularly interesting because a year earlier they'd given their image over to one of Britain's hottest comedians at the time, Paul Merton.
This twin has aged.
While this twin has kept her youthful looks.
Thanks to new Imperial Leather Mild. A little mild...
Oh, come on, this is pathetic. It's a good soap, but this is an older woman.
No, she's not been well.
This whole thing is
I told you to wait in the van. For another 10 quid, we could have had Robert Hardy.
Well, although those adverts are still fondly remembered today, the surreal deconstructionist approach apparently didn't work for Imperial Leather, because here they are being all high-class and elegant again, with Christopher Timothy replaced by a purring Ian Holm. Either way, better than that irritating hyper-opulent billionaire family from the 80s.
Simon, Bermuda.
Roger, Wilco.
Crash, you bastards.
Because no material is more precious than your family's skin.
And that's that. Surprisingly long and also somewhat unfocused. Not that commercial breaks are supposed to be particularly focused. But there's no apparent attempt to capture or even consider the potential audience for a Jackie Chan action flick. Cosmetics, holidays, toothpaste, cars, just basic mainstream adverts thrown together. The clue is the loneliness tax towards the end. You don't see those before midnight. And while it's clearly not far enough after midnight for there to be more than one of them, and the movie probably started at 11 or something, it's also too late to worry about any specific demographic. Whatever that demographic would be for this film, not enough of them are likely to have stayed up to watch it live for pandering to them to be economically viable. Most of them will probably have taped it. That's why we're here after all. And will therefore probably fast forward through the adverts. Notice how most of them have big, highly visible visual elements or on-screen slogans that could be discerned on fast forward? Kind of like all adverts have now that you can fast forward everything? We're a hair's breadth away from accidentally creating Max Headroom style Blipverts and heads start exploding across the country.
前去，全部得失只有全心知。跨步上，雲上我要去飛。衝前去。 全部得失只有全心知，跨步上，雲上我要去飛，衝前去，全部得失只有全心知，跨步上，人要作聽天看指。
This has been a Bob the Fish production, one of dozens you can watch right now for free on bobthefish.org.uk. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell, and join us on patreon.com/applemask to support further productions and gain fabulous exclusive content, like my ongoing history of the BBC. your day's viewing on a random day in history, even a few exclusive mini video essays. Plus the satisfaction of knowing that thanks to you, I get to eat regular meals. popthefish.org.uk. We care because you do.